Hi, Tony Bradshaw with AddSomeToYourIncome.com here to speak about a way to make extra money on the side. At first, I'm going to share with you how I kind of drifted along when it came to money and life and my career. I ended up in a dark place. Then, how I began to find my calling. So, it's quite a bit about me before I'm going to finally share the way that you can make extra money that everyone can do. So let's dive in. I literally dove into the ocean. Yes, I was a teenager. I was in the ocean. And on this particular day, it was a nice, sunny day, clear blue sky, the bluest of blue skies, if you can imagine it. I laid back and looked up at that sky in the water. And I had gotten beyond the point where the waves were breaking. So I'm beyond where the waves are. I'm by myself, although I'm there with a large group, but it was just me. And I felt wonderful. How could life get any better? Not bitter, better, better than this moment right now? Me float. Just think. I say teenage, but it was late teens, okay? And I'm just floating. Now, you should know a little bit about me that I'm not actually a surfer. I visited the beach. It was just over an hour from my house as a teenager, quite a bit. I could swim. We had a swimming pool in our backyard. So I was comfortable in the water. I'm just not an expert. And that came into play in a big way when I all of a sudden woke up from my woke up. I never fell asleep, but when I actually put my head up again to look, and I'm thinking I'm going to still be right there next to the shore. I was over a mile away from the shore. Approximately, based on like what I can guess about where I was at. I was way out there. Almost a mile, up to a mile. It felt like a mile. It looked like a mile. The first thing that hits you is shock. The next thing that hits you is fear. And then your brain really starts to try to figure out how you ended up this far away from the shore without doing anything at all. Pretty quickly, I conclude I just need to swim back to shore. So I put my head down and I swim. And after a while of swimming, I look up and I seem to be further away from the shore. Again, the shock, the fear, the try to figure this out, put my head back down, and swim some more. Now, I live to tell this tale, so you know I was okay. But it's interesting that when you're in that moment, you don't know that you're going to be okay. Because after multiple times of swimming plenty of distance to have made a difference and keep finding myself what seems further away, I started to get worried. In that moment, I remember thinking, I need help. And I found myself laying on my back again, taking a rest. And I'm just laying there thinking, how is it that I'm not getting any closer to the shore? When all of a sudden, I hear a voice. Now, they tell you will hear the voices of angels and God. You expect this kind of a voice, but it was a surfer's voice. And he's like, I'll try my best surfer here, right? Like, dude, what you doing out here, man? Now, I sound way too Jamaican, but I'll keep trying. And there's a surfer, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, you trying to get to the shore? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you're going the wrong way. I was like, what? He's like, dude, man, you're in a rip. I was like, what? Like, tubular, man, you're in a rip, dude. And I'm like, okay, dude. What? Rip, R.I.P., rest in peace already. Wait, what? Like, what is going on here? He's like, you gotta swim The other way, man. Go up the shore a bit, dude, and then start your journey back to the shoreline. I'm like, okay. So I try swimming the other way, parallel to the shore, like not towards the shore. And he's like, yep, man, that's enough. All right, now I'll try swimming back in. And so I start swimming towards the shore. After a while, because he hung out with me until I was pretty close, he was like, you all right, man? All right. And he tried to offer to let me rest on his board. I didn't. I really should have. Now that I'm older, I realize accept the help that's being given to you. And anyway, I finally swam back to shore. It felt like I swam 3 miles. I got back to the shore and I was just shaking. I mean, your hands are shaking, and I finally touch on that ground. And I'd seen all the videos of people returning to America and kissing the ground. I almost felt like kissing the dirt, right? And I pull myself up and I just sit down, and I'm just exhausted. And I'm sitting there looking at the water, and my friends are like, "Hey, how was it out there? You looked like you had a great swim." And I realized in that moment that the ocean is way more powerful than I realized, that I knew before. Like the ocean is very powerful. The tide was going out. There was a certain place where the water was flowing towards the ocean, and that's the only direction it was going, and I was being taken out. Maybe you are in a similar situation. Maybe in life you have just floated along, and now you stick your head up and you first are in shock. You look at your balance sheet, you look at your account, and you look at all the places where your money is and the problems you have, and you realize you need to make more money. And the fear, can I actually do it? Am I going to be a success? And then you put your head down and you start going. But when you put your head up again, you're not getting any closer. I realized in my life when I found myself working graveyard at a job that someone with a high school degree could have done when I had a degree in economics, not making very good money and having to work at night, being a very grumpy guy because I did not do well with that. I was a very grumpy guy. Grumpy graveyard guy is what I call myself as I look back on it. I found myself in a dark place. Then I realized I wasn't happy. And so I looked myself in the mirror, and the person in the mirror wanted to go be a teacher. So I followed that calling that came to me. Down the ways a bit, I still found myself not making what I felt was enough money. I wanted to make extra money. And so I worked harder. I worked extra jobs. I planned to work extra jobs. I'm here today working extra jobs. You want to make extra money? Work extra hard. That's how I always thought about it. I want to tell you this. If you really want to make extra money, here's a way to make extra money. Put a pizza delivery sign on your car and go for it. Really. I've got a cousin right now. Just talked to her today. She's doing DoorDash. She's going door to door and she's making extra money. She's got her schedule. She's able to work on her work, and then she's got her times when she can go do the DoorDash and deliveries and Lyft and all Uber and all these other places. You want to make extra money, you can do that. It's a way to make extra money. I will say, my life after I looked in the mirror changed. I was no longer just going to go along with the flow. I made a choice for me. The making extra money becomes on the side. And there are reasons why I like to, and you like to as well, and you want to. And you can go do that. I would think someone would get to this point in this video, and you might be thinking, that's your advice? Go work a second job? That's my advice. That is how I've lived my life. And what was great about it was the next part. Where I am now, I don't work extra jobs anymore. I've removed the pizza delivery sign off of my imaginary vehicle. And instead, when I have school holidays like today's a day when we don't have students in school, I make these videos and prepare to present. I am swimming parallel to the shore in preparation to actually make it back to the shore, or to make it to that shore in the first place. And so the habit of having an extra job will make it so that when you have your passion to really work at, you're like, I spent all this time working for some other company, making some other guy a lot of money. Now I'm going to take that same time and just dedicate it to what I know eventually will make extra money. It's a habit to have. It's tough. It's a lot of work. You got to put your head down and swim. And also, listen to the mentors in your life that can help guide your swimming. So you're not swimming against the current and not getting anywhere, maybe even going backwards. Listen to the mentors that will tell you, swim this way and then that way. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side.